All right, you guys, today what we're going to be looking at is review for your Chapter 5 quiz. Okay, your Chapter 5 quiz, just so you know, is going to be over lessons 1 through 4. Okay, so you're looking at lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and lesson 4 of Chapter 5 that are going to be in your book. Okay, one of the things that you're going to need to do is you will need to pick up a study guide before you start reviewing this and looking at the review that's going to be in your book. What I want to do today is to take some time to kind of go through and explain some things that you will be seeing on your quiz when you're ready to take your quiz, and do some review problems so that way I know you're ready to go. Okay, I'm going to be working under the Elmo, and so you actually physically won't see me in a lot of this one, but what I'm going to do is be looking at your study guide first, going through some examples and some expectations and some skills and concepts that will be on your quiz, and then we'll look at a few practice problems for this. Okay, so as you take a look at your study guide, okay, you're going to see at the beginning at the top it says be able to evaluate expressions. Okay, what we mean by evaluating expressions is, okay, you're going to be given specific expressions, maybe as simple as A times B or AB, might be AC minus B, might be 2A plus 7B. And what we're looking at on this is I will give you, or the quiz will have at the top, what the value of A, B, and C, or whatever your determined variables or set variables are ahead of time, okay? When you're working through this, you want to take a look and think to yourself, okay, if I have AB is the same as multiplying, okay? And I know A is equal to 2, and B is equal to 4. So technically what that means is the same as 2 times 4. Well, 2 times 4 is 8, so I've evaluated it, okay, or solved for it. Next one is AC minus B. So I've got 2 times negative 3, and then minus 4. Okay, well 2 times negative 3 is negative 6 minus 4. Now some of us may change that to adding the opposite. So negative 6 plus negative 4, which would give me negative 10 when I solve it. Looking at the last one, you've got 2A plus 7B. So 2 times 2 plus 7 times 4. Again, plugging in the values of those variables. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 7 times 4 would be 28. And answer 32 when we add. Okay, so again, that's looking at examples of evaluating expressions, which is your first skill. Second concept is using your distributive property to evaluate. Again, evaluate meaning to solve for. So as you take a look at your study guide, okay, you have specific examples of 7 times 4 plus 5. Again, we're focusing on the distributive property here. So you want to rewrite it using your distributive property. So I'm going to write 7 times 4 plus 7 times 5. Okay, so 7 times 4 would be 28. Plus 7 times 5 is 35, and then I can add those together, so 28 plus 35, and again you can rewrite it on the side if you need to, like I did. Okay, 8 plus 5 is 13, and 3, 4, 5, 6, so my answer would be 63. Next one, again, I've got negative 2 that needs to be distributed into each term, so negative 2 times 3, plus negative 2 times n. Negative 2 times 3 would be the same as negative 6 plus negative 2n. And then last but not least, I've got 8 is being distributed into each term. 8 times x would be 8x minus 8 times 3 is 24. Third bullet, you're going to see it says name the properties shown by each statement. Again, this goes back to your properties in your book and the ones that are going to be on the wall. I will tell you right now, when you take your quiz, they will not be on the wall. I will be taking them down. So please make sure that you go back and study and review those properties that are in your book. First one, you can see we're taking 12 times 1. All right, so when I'm multiplying by 1, okay, I know that I'm multiplying, and when I take 12 times 1, that's the same as 12. So I'm looking at a multiplicative identity. And that's what we would write down, multiplicative identity. Second one, as we take a look at it, you're going to notice you have 56 plus 24 plus 12 equals 56 plus 24 plus 12. take a look at what's different. My numbers are in the same order. I have 56, 24, and 12. The one thing that I've noticed that has changed is on the left side, I have 24 plus 12 in parentheses, and on the right side, I have 56 plus 24 in parentheses. So because the parentheses have changed, or the grouping, okay, remember grouping is the same as associative, so that's going to be associative property, and it will be of addition because we are adding. So just put associative, and then the addition sign behind it is fine. And then the third example I've given you, I have m plus 14 plus 10 equals 14 plus 10 plus m. Again, take a look at what's changed. As I look at it, I see that the order of my numbers has changed. And so when we're working with expressions and the order of numbers changes, we're looking at a commutative situation. So I'm going to write down commutative, and I'm adding, so it's going to be commutative of addition. Okay? Last but not least, the last bullet that you're going to see on your study guide, it says describe the relationship between terms and write the next 3 terms in the sequence. 2 parts to this. Describing the relationship and then also looking for the next 3 terms. Please do not forget, okay, to do both of those parts. So as we take a look at the first set of numbers, I have 2, 5, 8, and 11. So what I'm thinking to myself is okay, 2 plus what number gives me 5? 5 plus what number is 8? 8 plus what number is 11? And when we take a look at it, we know that we can take 2 plus 3 and get 5, or 5 plus 3. Okay, so therefore my relationship is going to be to add 3. My next numbers, 11 plus 3 would be 14. 14 plus 3 would be 17. And 17 plus 3 would be 20. Okay, next one, 40, 55, 70, 85. My numbers are getting bigger, so chances are I'm probably adding or multiplying. If I look at the difference between 40 and 55, that would be 15. So if I take 40 plus 15, it would give me 55. 55 plus 15 would be 70, and so forth. So my relationship is going to be to add 15. And then my next 3 terms, if I'm at 85, 85 plus 15 would be 100. Excuse me. 100 plus 15 would be 115. And then 115 plus 15 would be 130. Okay? Last example we have is 2.2, 2.6, 3, and 3.4. I have decimals. And arithmetic sequences can be with decimals, fractions, whole numbers. So as I take a look at the difference here, to me it looks like I'm adding 4/10. Okay, 2.2 plus 4/10 is 2.6. 2.6 plus 4/10 is 3. 3 plus 4/10 would be 3.4. So therefore my relationship is to add 4/10. Okay, and then my next 3 numbers, if I take 3.4 plus 0.4, should give me a 3.8. 3.8 plus 4/10 should give me 4.2. And then 4.2 plus 4/10 should give me 4.6. Okay, so again, as we take a look back, these bullets, these 4 bullets here are going to be the main things that will be on your quiz, again, over lessons 1, 2, 3, and 4 of chapter 5. Go back and ask yourself, can you evaluate expressions? Can you use your distributive property to rewrite and evaluate? Can you name or identify properties shown? And then can you describe the relationship and list the next 3 terms of your sequence? Okay, we're going to take a minute right now and look at just a few other practice problems that I want to go over with you. Just a couple other ones that I would like for you to try on your own. You can do these on a piece of paper or on a whiteboard just for extra practice, or otherwise on the back of your study guide. These would be good ones to do, okay? Let's say that I have A equals 10, B equals 12, and C equals -2, okay? I might look at a situation where I have the expression of B minus C, okay? Well, when I have B minus C, okay, that's the same as taking the value of B, which is 12, minus the value of C, -2. Remember, when I'm subtracting a negative, that's the same as adding the opposite. 12 plus 2 is 14. Okay? And one more example. Maybe I have BC minus A. Okay? BC here means to multiply, so I'm looking at 12 times negative 2 minus 10. Okay, so 12 times negative 2 would be a negative 24 minus 10. I'm going to rewrite that as negative 24 plus negative 10, and that should give me negative 34. So there's a couple other examples that you can look at in terms of evaluating your expressions. Okay? Other practice ones that you may want to look at would be naming properties or identifying properties. So I might have 5 plus 0 equals 5. Okay, so that could be one that you might see. You may want to look at it and ask yourself what property is being shown. Okay, another one could be if I have 23 plus b plus 4 equals 23 plus b plus 4. Okay, again, you're going to notice numbers are the same. Look at what changes. What property would that be? Ask yourself that. You can double check. Last couple review problems that I want to look up here at would be describing your relationship. So let's say I start off with the number 2, and then I have 8 and 14 and 20. Okay, what is the relationship? And what would be the next 3 numbers in that sequence? Again, it's an arithmetic sequence. What are you adding each time? And what would be my next 3 numbers? Another example, 8 tenths, 1.6, 2.4. Okay, what's happening or what is your relationship? Describe that. And then what are your next 3 terms? As you review for your quiz, again over lessons 1, 2, 3, and 4 in chapter 5, okay, a couple things to remember is there are going to be 13 questions on it. There is going to be one story problem that is going to be looking at patterns and sequences as well. It will also go back and review your problem solving strategy focusing, which was making a table, which you guys will have some practice problems of those type starting on page 385 in your book. Please make sure you go back and look through your study guide, okay? Please take a look at those practice problems that I had given you, and then also your review in your book, okay, which is gonna start on 383 and go through 386. If you do have any questions on any of the review questions that we had talked about or problems on any of the sections so far in the chapter that we have gone over, please do not hesitate to ask myself.